And we are live, but people. Oh yeah, people can't hear me. There we go. I was like, people can't hear me, but that is my mic moving. So we.
Hopefully nothing messes up.
Nah, it shouldn't mess up at all. Hopefully.
Oh, my screen's rather dark. Give me a second.
It's not really crazy.
Boom, we have light.
Yeah, sort that out.
We now have light. Oh, let's load up a stream.
Let's do this.
I'll load up the stream so it's at least got a viewer.
Yeah, so like, yeah, first of all, how you been? What you been doing? Because like I say, I've not been what's I was about to say societying, that's not the word I was looking for. I've not been socialising with anybody recently.
Yeah, not too bad, just been a bit busy.
Yeah.
I say a bit busy. Obviously, house jobs, been in and out of house, even though not too often, it's just mainly to Amy's and back, and then play video games. I'm starting to get a bit bored of them though.
Yeah.
Oh, graphic design as well. I'm actually getting into that. I've been looking, as I walk around places, I end up looking at logos and go, that can be improved, that can be improved, that can be improved. It's like, I guess you and your psychology is just reading people, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just look at things and go, yeah,
that
probably change the colour scheme of that and what have you.
Yeah. That made downside to learning anything is just you just walk around being like,
especially things that are in your face. So you've got like, there's graphics everywhere, so you're forever looking at them. It's like you and people everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm actually enjoying the graphic design stuff now.
Yeah.
Still got a lot of learning to do because I want to eventually learn user experience design, UI and UX. But I could do with learning, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript.
Yeah.
Sorry if you can hear a dog. It's just my sister's either leaving or they're just annoying dog.
Some of this dog whispering.
Yeah, sister came straight in.
Yeah.
Just as I thought.
Is a noggin better?
Yeah. Much better now. She's back at work again.
Cool.
Kicking ass and taking names, literally.
Why not? Right. Let's just get into it. We're just doing our hour one, just a quick hour one to get back into it. It might go a bit over a little bit. Don't really know.
Yeah. Slightly rusty a bit.
Yeah, just little things. This will be episode.
It's actually been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been about a week, I think, since we did like mental health one. No, maybe not a week, maybe like 5 days or something.
Yeah.
But
we'll get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, because it's like episode 10.
Yeah.
And now we're getting back into weird haunted places and stuff.
Yes.
And I thought, well, I was in conversation last night, and it just like we were talking about like little haunted places in America and stuff, and then it just tricked. I was just like, sort of popped. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do haunted locations in America because they're highly different to places in England. Like,
yeah,
ridiculously.
Well, like I say, it's that mansion. It looks really nice. The mansion. It really does. But then you hear the story behind it, and it just turns into like a horror show.
Yeah, it's like it's never. I've not done an investigation. I've been there, not done an investigation in the La Larry house in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Because at that time I wasn't there for that. I think I'm trying to figure out if it was like Mardi Gras. I'm not entirely sure. Right. So it's chaos. You can't really do anything in Mardi Gras unless you got a hotel on French Quarter and then you can sit on your balcony. why everyone passes through the street
Yeah, yeah.
and get like.
So I've heard it can get quite busy.
Yeah, it's nice to be in the mixed people, but it gets just gets too much. If you're not used to that many people and that much chaos, then it's like.
Oh yeah, that'd be me. I'd want one of the balconies up top. Just wave at people if need be.
Yeah, because I was getting like beads chucked at me, and even though I can't show my breast, I was getting beads chucked at me. I was like.
Yeah.
Like walking on about like a chain of beads like this. I think I'd someone was chucking Hawaiian, them Hawaiian flower things.
Yeah.
I had them on me. I was just like, it was crazy, but
okay, let's just enjoy it.
But it's definitely not. Yeah, it was definitely somewhere that, like, I didn't know was haunted back then. But then, when we got around to going in and stuff, it was just like listening to like, especially the family who own it. I had a little chat with them.
Now it's privately owned.
Yeah, it's a house. It's an actual like house. People live in it.
And they don't offer tours.
No, unless you know people who are close to the family, and then it wasn't really a tour. It wasn't really a tour for us. It was like, oh, I want to see you, like, can I see us? And then the girl who French Quarter that was just like, yeah, I know where we're going, and I just got to see it and everything. But I don't know. They're kind of like American hauntings are kind of different, like in loads of ways to us. Like to ours, it's like, because it's different atmosphere as well. Like, because all our house is like old.
Yeah.
But like when we mean old, it's like wartime old. Like there's like some of that are new, but I think I just think because we've not really got that much going on, as in like murder wise, serial killers, like crazy stuff like that. Whereas in America,
we've not really, have we? Just thinking about it, most of it's been like way back when, like Battle of Hastings and shit like that. It's more open land rather than buildings themselves.
Yeah, we've had like wars and stuff, but like profound serial killers other than Jack the Ripper, because that's just what everyone knows about. That's why I'm going.
Legendary, isn't it?
That's why I'm going to America to do forensic psychology, because literally there's like no jobs in England for forensic psychology. There's none. There's like two, and they're both working at prisons, and I'm okay for working at prisons. I don't like. It bores me. Like it's just like.
Oh yeah, you just see the same people and over again, and it's
yeah, it's just not. It's not worth it.
You're just stuck in one area rather than. I started reading a book. Well, what's it called? Like Paul Britton, Jigsaw Man, and that is quite an interesting read as well. I've still got to finish it, but the book's about that thick. So it'll take a while.
Yeah, it will.
I think it's the same size as Goblet of Fire.
Yeah.
For anyone that knows the Harry Potter books.
Harry Potter. So yeah, that's why I'm going there. More, and it's not America's fault. It's just more. It's more interesting, as in like murderers and stuff like that. Definitely for people who are interested in like hunting bad guys and doing certain things, which I'm gonna get really good at. But then it leads to better hauntings, because obviously you've got the Veliscan axe murder house where someone came in with an axe and murdered the whole family. And you're gonna, let's just take the ones that are popular to it. Then you've got Lizzie Borden. Obviously.
All right.
Gave her mother 40 whacks when she saw what she had done. She gave her father 41. That's where the song Little Rhyme comes from.
Oh right, I didn't realise.
Yeah, so she literally butchered her mother and father. Mother upstairs, and then her father downstairs on like an old style couch. Like, I don't know what you want to class it, but yeah, just. And then got acquitted for it. Didn't get charged for it at all. Literally got took to court. I think she pleaded insanity, but I don't know what insanity would look like then. People think she was possessed, but yeah, she just straight up.
I think just got off of it.
Yeah, straight up woke up one morning, grabbed an axe and was like, "Fuck it, just gonna start swinging on him." That's what she did.
What is she, fucking Ginley?
Yeah. So there's this, but like your big ones, like you say, your Alcatrazes. These like your mainstream popular things.
Yeah.
Bell Witch is kind of infamous. like the Bell Witch
I've heard they've
property.
stopped doing visits to Alcatraz. Do you know because of how eroded it is now?
Yeah, it's just, and plus it's too like getting there and back. It's too just like it's too complicated. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's that haunted. It's probably got a few. What other ones are crazy? A lot of hotels, like say.
There's Eastern, according to National Geographic, there's like Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know if that's still standing. Is
Gothic
it?
style prison. Oh gosh.
I can't remember if I've been to Eastern or Western. I've been to one of them.
How to visit daytime tours year round, as well as special events. If you're feeling brave, blah blah blah. It must still be done. If you can actually go and do visits and things, daytime tours.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Wow.
it's definitely it's probably definitely still up then, isn't it? If that's the case.
Well, I say that I've just gone to go on the website and it says page not found, but yeah, it says purchase tickets.
Yeah. The page not found is probably because of COVID, and it's just like people aren't
Probably.
updating it. But yeah, you got
Yeah, it is.
crazy ones. You got like Lemp Mansion. You got ones after like films, so Haunting in Connecticut, and then obviously the infamous ones like Harry Potter House, Amityville Horror Heart, like the Amityville's like Harry Potter, because we're talking about Harry Potter.
Yeah, I've got it in your head now.
Like Exorcist, like the Exorcist House.
Queen RMS Queen Mary in Long Beach,
Yeah.
California is meant to be.
But these are all like crazy haunted for like maybe not the Exorcist House, because you can't go to the Exorcist House, you can't go there, and I don't think you can have the tour at Amityville. I don't think, because I don't know if people are living in them or not. But
Yeah.
they're like mainstream ones, so whether they're haunted or not, you never know, because people are gonna run businesses and stuff. So it's just like that thing we said about it being, yeah,
Look,
just
there's
strange.
one in supposedly the Stanley Hotel. You know, the Shining.
Shining.
Well,
Yeah.
that was based off. That's meant to be haunted as well. Like I say, I have no idea because never been.
No.
But it always makes me question, certain things. Do you know when it's actually been put in movies as well?
Yeah.
How legit are movies making it, or is it just it's haunted because it's been on a film?
A film.
So it's more of a glory shot of the house kind of tour because it's been. This was in this is the house from The Shining.
Yeah.
kind
Wait.
of thing, or is it actually haunted?
Well, you have to try and kind of base off of what stories come out of it. So we know like the Amityville was haunted, even though it was a film first. It was a documentary first with obviously Ed and Lorraine Warren, so they went in. But then it was like the other things like Haunting in Connecticut's a real thing. Bell Witch, real house, real story. What else is like most of your like Eastern State Penitentiary, like stuff like that, mental asylums in America, especially because they were like in the founding, they were like in a good founding area for like abuse kind of thing.
I was just looking at one now. I can't even pronounce it, but
How does it spell?
It's trans and then
Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.
That's the one.
Yeah, I've been there.
West
there.
Virginia.
Yeah, that's where I've been there. Yeah. So all these have got like mistreated of either it's been like for
Tormented souls.
yeah, they're either known for like their viruses and mass people dying, or they're known like, because a lot of America's mental health system back then, it was like lobotomies and like cruel things. So a lot of their mental institutes, like your big asylums, got shut down for mistreatment of patients and like health code violations. There's one, I can't remember which one it is because there's so many, but yeah, when a reporter went in, I don't know if it was Trans Allegheny, but there was like patients that didn't have rooms or anything, and they were all just sat laying down in the corridors and stuff, and like walls just being like decaying and stuff. It was bad back then. It was such a shitty time for people back then, especially. So they're more haunted. Like if someone said to me, "Oh," I'd be like, "Go there," especially because there's like a lot of people that died that were.
Yeah, because it says here hundreds of patients died during the asylum's tenure.
Yeah.
Scores of guests and ghost hunters have claimed to see their shadowy figures roaming the crumbling halls.
Yeah. So it was like Trans Allegheny was the first time I saw like some like weird apparition of a. It was like a young girl. I can't even describe it. I'm gonna try my hardest. So it was a young girl. We're on. So I'd come out. I'm pretty sure Trans Allegheny's got like it's. I'm pretty sure it's. Oh, I can't remember if it's open or not. It was been that long. But I was coming out of a like an old like bathroom type of thing. So it was like bathroom like suite. And back then it weren't like singular bathrooms. It was like what you get in like restaurants and stuff like them types of bathrooms. Like so it had quite a lot of stalls in.
Yeah.
I'd come out, and if you went right out the door and then right again, that was the staircase down. But if you went left, it went to like medical wing where it was like dentists, like dentistry chairs and stuff. And I was just coming out of the bathroom, turn left because I knew where I was going at this point. Because that's what you have to do when you're in these big things when you go hunting. It's like right dentistry. Then you have to like make mental things. Like you can't be like left right left right left right. You have to be like right that room's going to be called this. When we get to this room, go there. So we'll go walking past. But on the right opposite of that room was a bowed door. So like a wooden door, but it bowed. Like because it was raining. Yeah. So you couldn't open it or anything. You could see in it, but you couldn't open it, and it was like a shattered glass window. Like a small little window that they have in them. With no glass in, and so I walked past this dentistry chair. I think it was a dentistry chair. I don't really know. It looked like they could have been anything like a hospital chair or something with operating chair.
Yeah.
But I walked past and I could have heard I swear to God I heard it like squeak, like the chair squeak.
All right.
And I was like, so it was one of the ones where I stopped and I was just like. Because at this point I wasn't investigating. There was no we were just setting up. So I walked back, went in, tried to move chairs straight jammed in place. There's no way that chair's squeaking.
It's rusted up.
You couldn't move it for shit. And I was just like, okay. Didn't think anything of it. Walked back out the door, then took a left. Because then you go right to the end, right at the end is emergency exit. So we need to go right to the end, just to. So what we'll do is we'll tape emergency exits, so big black X's on emergency exits.
Yeah.
So we know that if not that we need to just get out, but if people start panicking and start freaking out by themselves, that they know where it is. There's no
no grey area. That's your way out.
Yeah, that's your way out. So we're I walk towards the exit and I turn around to look back down just to get a view on everything and where cameras are going to go, where we'll run things. And this weird little girl in a greenish dress, but it had lace at the bottom, white lace at the bottom, just knee high white socks, but lace socks as well, but no shoes on or anything. And she just walked out from the bowed door, and I was I sat there and looked, I was and I know it's not an open door because that's where I've just been.
Yeah.
So that was what made it weirder. I was just
doesn't it make you question yourself, thinking...
Yeah, you never know if you're crazy
Am I just a weak fucking idiot that couldn't open the door or anything?
Yeah, this little girl's just been but no, you couldn't. And she just walks out and then and I'm thinking, because normally when you see apparitions, they don't even acknowledge you. If you just catch them, they just walk past.
Yeah.
And she just went. She was going into dentistry. I'm just going to call it dentistry because that's what we were calling it. So, and I was just didn't have no equipment on me because I'm just setting up. I was for God's sake, because it was very early in my early days. So back then you always used to make mistakes. So now I always carry a camera on me and a digital recorder if I'm walking, and even if I'm just setting up in case I just need to be
just a quick.
Yeah, in case something happens, so you should be. But back then it was not place was too big. We weren't even we were so excited, and then she just stopped in front of the door, just dead on stopped and turned, like went to turn, like her face didn't turn her body, just turned her face to look at me. But she had like these weird black veins all on her face, and I know this because it was like light, and from one of the windows it was like hitting the light, because that's what I was worried about when I first went in there. I was like, so the light from the dentistry room, because all the windows are smashed out the top and no one's going to break in from the top, the light was shining, and I was like, well, we can't put a camera down there, because if the light hits anything reflective, then it's going to be like, the camera's just going to be like, what do I do? Yeah, and so I could see all these black veins on her face, and then she turned like that, she was missing the left side of her face. But I only caught like a glimpse of it, and then she just disappeared. She didn't walk away. It was like she was never there. It was like I blinked and she was gone. And so
it's like you've got to go walk around with your eyes taped open.
Yeah,
like
it's like
so your eyes are just constantly
just really wandering around like a zombie, just walking. So it was really weird, because the whole time.
Oh god, that's made my eyes water.
The whole time you can blink, you can just constantly blink, and they'll be there. But then the minute they start looking at you weird, and then you just it was such a weird thing to see. And I only like, and I think I'm not gonna say for certain that half of the face was missing, but when she turned it, it was like I could see where the skin, like, changed colour all of a sudden. So I'm presuming that either missing some of her face, burn also, but I saw it for like a millisecond, because then she was just gone.
So it could have even just been a shadow.
Yeah, and I was just like, great, wicked. Like at this point, I'm like, and for anybody who I'm like scared. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
I'd be a bit worried if you weren't scared.
Yeah, I'm not scared now these days. Like these days, I'm just like, well, like, just capture it.
Yeah, but like you said, you were new to it. It's like, if I was new to it, I'd probably say, "Where's that X on that door?"
Yeah, it was crazy. It was such never saw her again. It was just a one instance. Never found out. You know, because there's that many rooms in it. Never found out what room that room was at all. Couldn't get into it. Didn't want to start smashing the place up trying to get into a room. It was like impossible. And I was just like, it'll always stay with me as one of like the most creepiest.
Don't they have documents? Oh, they couldn't even if they had documents on.
Trying to figure out what room. Like, there's no. Some rooms have numbers, but you don't know if they're numbered. Like, if that number then corresponds with the order of numbers that go up into the rooms. Like, I can't speak. So if it's like
in numerical order or
that,
something.
yeah, exactly. That's the word I was looking for. Numerical, and then like, so it was weird. It was such a like. So it'd just be too hard. That's why I always do information first, then because trying to do it on the fly is too much. So yeah.
So that just get me wondering. Do you know, is there any documentation of a person like that? Because I've seen it where people actually try and look back. Do you know? See, they can say, "Oh, that was that. That was this person," but it just depends on how strict they are with or even if they've got them still.
At that point they've got nothing. Like, you might find a room that's got files in and patient files that have just been left there, because all these places didn't get like cleaned out; they just got abandoned.
Just left,
like the the expensive stuff got took, but everything else just got. Because you go like these places, like you go into like the like basements and stuff, or rooms, and you'll find like shoes and children's clothes, and just that's why I enjoy. I enjoy like creepy houses, like, you know, like houses that people actually live in, and not mainstream ones, because it's always got things in it. Like it feels like a home, so you get like this feeling of like they've got no reason to gain anything from it. So they're not running a business off it. They're not doing anything. So like that's why I like abandoned hospitals and stuff, because you go in and it's not like historical things. Like, it's not like a historical building where everything's like pristine condition. Everything's like, you can't touch it, you can't go near it, because it takes everything out of it. You walk around it and it feels like you're walking around.
Well, they've patched things, haven't they? So it's a case of they're getting rid of what was.
Yeah.
Because they've tried to make it safe, make it whatever for the public, and it kind of pulls out the authenticity of it.
Yeah, it feels like you're on a tour. Feels like you shouldn't be
Yeah.
there. You're walking around and you're just like, you're still investigating and stuff, but you're doing it different. You never investigate the same. Whereas like in these houses, yeah, people are still in them and stuff because obviously you get them to investigate with you on them occasions, and it's like, and you can feel it. You can feel how nervous and like unsettled they are, which then like adds this extra layer of like, in theory, I should be in a safe building because I'm in someone's home. Like I'm in someone's home
Yeah.
and it should be safe, but it doesn't feel safe. Same with like abandoned buildings. Obviously, I shouldn't feel safe, but you go to like say abandoned hospital or something, and it's just full of just craziness, just absolute like shoes, pictures, just weird stuff that just gives it this
Yeah.
feeling of like you can walk in and you just know, you can feel what happened there. You just like, people just literally just got up and just left. They were just like, don't want to do this anymore.
It's like ghost towns and things like that. You just see bits and things like that. You don't see it so much in England, like ghost towns, do you? It's more,
I think we'll have like a few, you know, because they're really old, but no one really cares for that stuff in it. Like England's like ghost things, not really. You got to know where to look and you got to be interested in it. It's like a really niche population of just,
and the places to look have already got these businesses wanting to capitalize on it, so it just dilutes it a bit.
yeah, it becomes such a like a stagnant just, oh well, like they all do it the same way as well, especially in England. They all do it the same way. It's all like very historian type thing. Whereas like, you feel like every time you go, you feel like you're on a ghost tour, and it shouldn't, because you're not
Yeah.
on a ghost tour. You're on a freaking ghost hunt. But I think America's got a few that I know of. So like, well, Madeline's always on about it. So Roswell,
Right.
but that's weird. So we were going to go to Roswell in Atlanta, in Georgia. So, but instead we went to Trans Allegheny because that got opened up. Otherwise, I'd have been in Roswell investigating, but I
Yeah.
wasn't, because it was like Roswell or Insane Asylum. And Roswell, if you're doing Roswell, you know, because it's kind of like a haunted town. I want to say it's,
Oh, the town itself.
yeah, like the whole, like it's a haunted, like you when you said like haunted, like yeah, it's haunted,
Oh, yeah.
like
Even there, I've just Googled now, TripAdvisor, there's like ghost tours.
ghost tours. Yeah, it's a haunted place. There's Shepherdstown, that's a haunted town as well. So you definitely get a few area, like clusters of towns that are fully haunted, which
Yeah.
it's harder to investigate. It's more fun because obviously you've got a lot of places you can go, but it's that type of thing of like, you gotta be dedicated. You got to. It's not like a day job. It's like a you gotta be there for like 3 days or something to do the whole thing. And
Yeah.
stuff. And it's like, and it's better to just get a group of friends. Like, it's better to get a group of friends who don't really like, who've not really been ghost hunting, to do like towns, like haunted villages and stuff. Because the more the better. Like in village wise, the more the better, or town wise, because there's just too many places, so you can just split off and then just trade places with other people and stuff. And you always find more
Yeah.
people want to do it. So it's just like, so Madeline keeps like, every time she just goes and sees someone she hasn't seen in quite a while because of COVID and stuff, they all just want to come ghost hunting. So it's and obviously she lives near Roswell, we're close enough. So there's definitely a few.
Yeah.
I've never done a town, never even like, I wouldn't even know where to start. Maybe just get in there
The whole town.
and get,
Well, first things first, you gotta go say scope the place out. Just have a look around.
yeah, definitely read into it a lot, do some research
Yeah.
on it, but do that. But yeah, it's kind of like, I'm more into like, especially American ones, like they're more like, you get a lot of like, and this, no one take this the wrong way, but a lot of, so I prefer doing quite a lot of like plantations where slaves were kept, because there's a lot of that. Slaves used to like do a lot of voodoo.
Right, I
You know, to
see.
keep so not in like I'm not being like well I like slave owners and stuff. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like I enjoy, because there's more history in like the occult side of it because that's all like slaves would turn to would be like trying to protect each other so that they use like a specific type of voodoo. So in like Myrtle's plantation and stuff, so in some like plantations,
Yeah.
there's like real voodoo that happened there.
Oh,
Not
wow.
like speculation, not being like oh well there was no, there's actual signs of voodoo that happened there from slave owners and stuff because that's their way of trying to keep everyone safe and putting curses on people and getting into it. So they're more
That
in
seems
they're
strange.
more interesting because it's kind of like stained like the property
Yeah.
and it's like and that's how they just used to do it. So it's always interesting learning and doing places like that because it's like you're not being like well it's said that this person was like crazy or so or these people have seen this apparition or her. You're literally going in and it's like there's there's remnants of voodoo and not like because people are like well you can fake that stuff but it's certain types of voodoo. It's not like you're walking in and someone's painted a fucking pentagram on the wall because anybody can do that. If someone's like oh real witchcraft was done here and I walked in and there was a pentagram on the floor, I'd be like I wouldn't be like oh my god because it's just a pentagram. Anybody can draw a pentagram.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? If it was like an intricate pentagram with like right symbols and spell work craft around it and etched into it, I'd be a bit more like, oh, actually, you know what? But it's still, if you got a right book, you can copy it. But like, you know when there's certain types of witchcraft or voodoo being done because it's specific. So it's more interesting. It's more intriguing, but you have to be a bit more careful because you don't know what's cursed or what they've done. So you have to go and just, it's not more careful. You should be going into these places with the utmost respect anyway. You shouldn't be
Yeah.
acting like
A
dickholes.
dick. Yeah, there's no need for it. Like you say, if there's curse stuff. I won't even know what they curse because I thought it'd be more people than.
I'd add the land, certain things,
Right,
like
yeah.
areas. It's like it was tough for them back then, wasn't it? So trying to figure out how they did to try and survive. I just know a lot of voodoo uh, was was done there because the priestess who who I knew from New Orleans and stuff. She came from a long line of uh, slaves.
Oh,
So
right.
family of slaves. So that got passed down to her. So what she knows about voodoo just got passed down.
Yeah.
So and like I say, when you've been in witchcraft for quite a while, you can tell the real from the like showy type of stuff.
Yeah, definitely have no idea whatsoever.
Yeah. So America's good for that. There's more like you get into these buildings and it's like just history just seeping in it because it's like because they're known for their cults and stuff. So that's obviously a lot of that. But it's kind of when you get into like a certain building, and especially something like if you just take the Bell Witch for instance, like
Yeah.
it's a well known story in America. Obviously, if you don't know what the Bell Witch is, uh, yeah. So it's just about neighbors at war. So it was like so. You know how like you get like old style like I'm probably going to offend people here, but you know, like Boondocks families who were just freaking like are at war. Like two families are at war for ages back in the day. So that's what it
Romeo
was.
and Juliet, Montague and Capulet.
Yeah, but like more like real country, like country
Yeah,
one. Yeah. So one of them got cheated out of some land. Yeah, and then Lion obviously so lying on her deathbed, Kate obviously swore she'd haunt him forever.
yeah.
And then ever since then, obviously the family experienced physical attacks, chains dragging across floor, noises in the walls. Saw some old odd-looking animals on there for, including a dog with a rabbit's head. And today you can tour the property's cave and reconstructed cabin, because obviously the cabin's not going to be there because that's like some ancient stuff.
Yeah.
But so there's things with like real, like, history tied to it, and not just speculation. So I think it's always good. Like it's always fascinating, because even the Exorcist house, that's like, for people who didn't know, it's not a girl. Like in the movie, it's a girl. It's not a girl who, like, the Exorcist is not based off a girl. It's based off a little boy. So if people didn't know that,
Right.
so the film obviously didn't want to portray it fully, because back then it was kind of the film was kind of a touchy subject for the church and everything. So it's a long story. If you don't know about it, go read upon it. Like why The Exorcist didn't like, it nearly didn't make cinemas because like the church was just like no. But it wasn't about a girl, it was about a boy. So even The Exorcist house now is just like you have to take that out of your mind, because people will go, oh, Exorcist house, go in, but people are like just straight away just like quoting the movie, and it's just like no.
Well, again, it's like movies never seem to get the full picture, or if they did, they had to change it a bit just possible legal reasons or whatever else.
Yeah.
Because like you said, if they had proper spells from witchcraft in and things, people try copying them and all that stuff, it could cause havoc.
That's me. If people click on that, it's actual real things, then it'd just be chaos all over the place. People would just be like, what the hell's happening? But it's like, I don't know, it's kind of, would you rather do like you know, would you rather like investigate English or American, knowing?
Oh, if it was left to me, I'd American.
Yeah, American. Yeah. A lot of people.
One, it's a much bigger country, so much more has gone off.
Yeah.
But then you've also, because you could go back to the Native Americans and certain grounds they have.
Skinwalker Ranch, that's one of them.
Yeah. And all things like that. Supposedly there's mines as well. I don't know if you'd be allowed in them because of how safe it'll be. Probably not.
I think at that point it's just your own risk. At that point, it's just like just go in if you want to risk it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
It's not. I know this from experience. Like doing ghost hunts underground is like sucks. It's better, but it sucks because especially in a mine or a cave, because you don't know where to run. You gotta know where your way out and stuff. So.
Yeah.
So it's kind of. Yeah.
Well, it's an underground maze, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very. It's kind of weird as well, because there's a lot of hauntings in England is just like secret society. It's like Hellfire Caves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just did like a lot of things associated to like secret societies and stuff like that. Whereas, like I say, America is just like, oh, this random cabin in the woods, someone decided to murder 30 people and bury it. It's like okay. Or black mass rituals was held here, satanic stuff. So they're definitely more interesting and definitely more intriguing.
They seem to be a little more open compared to England, by letting people know these things, whereas sometimes it's just like, no. It's like I've seen, obviously it was TV based, but they have access to all different places, don't they? Whereas in England, it's only certain places that can even go.
Yeah, England's pretty odd now.
Shut down. Yes. I don't understand why. I understand it if it was a, private home and people are just like, well, just leave us alone. We're fine where we are.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But then there's places where it's probably safe to do it, but they just no.
Yeah, just no. Yeah, it's kind of, and plus
Why?
like
What harm is it?
there's a lot more like real like demonic stuff that happens in America as well. Especially we have a few, but our ones are like, I think I know of like one house and like two wooded areas. I'm not going to mention the wooded areas in case people are going to watch this and like flock to it and be like, but yeah, I think I know of one house which everyone knows of, and then two like wooded areas where I know for certain satanic rituals took part, because one of them I took part in, so I was there for one of them. Like I was there in one area of the woods.
Yeah.
So, and if we went back now, I'd be able to show people. So, because where the woods were set behind this house, you wouldn't know where like the meeting area was, because it was cleared out a little bit. So there's like loads of little tree stumps. So everyone had a tree stump. So everyone was like sat on tree stumps, like cleared out in like not in a circle, but it was in just the vicinity. But
yeah,
because it's now private, it's because it's still owned by the same family, still own it. Obviously, they're not doing cool stuff anymore, because I think it's their daughter who owns it now. So there's like horses and stuff on it. But behind it, the forest is still thing. So it's still like cornered off, like a big section is still like brick walled off, because it's like, imagine like a brick wall with like spikes on it, like fancy spikes. So not ones that are going to stab you right through your hand. Them like, it's just fashion ones. So it's all bricked off, and you can't really see in it unless you want to climb. But on the way to find your way there'll still be like witchcraft symbols or on like loads of trees. So
right.
The minute you hit that, you're in the right place.
Yeah.
So people who are going to watch this on YouTube or something, I'm not telling you the name. You can beg me all you want. It's not happening.
The answer's no.
Yeah. She's like, that family's been through enough with the silly arse son who ran a cult for ridiculous amounts of times. They don't need your nonsense.
Random people turning up going, I want to see it.
I want to see these carvings in these trees and stuff. But like, so we'll have that, but America's got that as well, where it's like, I don't know, I'm ready to just take some new people, even though we're getting back into it soon. We're just waiting for everyone to feel comfortable, because I meant to be ghost hunting soon, but I'm trying to get everyone, like, not everyone feels comfortable back doing it, because they don't want to take the risk of just catching COVID or giving it back to the family members, which, all right, is understandable. Not going to force anybody to it. So, but I'm ready to just
get out there.
Yeah, but I want some new people. I want to take like new people on. I enjoy taking new people on, not to like lead them on to something that's not true, but like when you're with the same lot, you're kind of comfortable. You kind of you just get into a rhythm and you just go, and like none of you are going to experience anything new. Someone might get freaked out or something, but with new people, it's good to see their experience of just being like, well, actually, that was fucking terrifying. And
well, yeah, 'cause I can imagine seeing, like if I saw what you saw at that place, that girl, I would definitely have been freaked out.
Yeah, like.
And then you would have, like, if you were with me then, you would have seen my first reaction of seeing it. It's like, what the fuck?
Like, where's Tommy? You just see him running down the street. Just he's gone. He's gone. He's like, fuck that, I'm leaving.
He's just got scorch marks on the floor.
It's like, I'm going. But yeah, no.
Usain Bolt, I've beaten your world record.
Yeah, that's it. Just
Exactly.
So I don't know. I definitely want to take some new people who are interesting. So, like, I think I'm gonna take Madeline. Obviously.
Yeah.
She wants to do it. And then obviously a few of my friends want to do it. I know a few, like, I want to take all of us at some point. Get like the Twitch community ghost hunting, like just get everyone out somewhere. And
just trying to think where.
I did plenty of places. I'd probably do like a forest or something, just to because it's a bit more freaky, because you got to be a bit more aware, because you're in a forest. So it's like, oh, is that some random people making that noise, or is it something else? Or like, and then panic starts setting, because you can't really get stalked in a house. Like, you don't really get that stalkery feelish where you're at, because you're just like, oh, you're in it. Then you just leave.
You get that feeling where eyes are on you, and it's like, where's that coming from?
Exactly. But when you're in a forest, it's like,
I've had that a few times when I was at Scouts as a kid. It's like someone's watching me, but everyone's meant to be or should be asleep.
Sleep. Yeah.
What is watching me and where is it coming from?
Yeah, because you always have that sense. Like everyone always has that sense. Knows when you know when people someone's like staring at everyone always looks at you, but you know when someone's staring at you, you always get that sense of just like, and even if it's someone you can see, you just like you always get a sense, and you're just like, really staring at me. But I don't know. It'll be kind of fun to just get everyone together and just do it. Just have a good old time. Just not do anything like too crazy. Like I was saying to Madeline last night, like, I don't normally do cemeteries, unless like not because like, but it's because it's a place of rest and like so you need more respect when you go into a cemetery. And I know this from back in the day where some of my friends would like I'd ring them, I'd be like, oh, where are you? And they'd be like, oh, we're smoking weed and just drinking in cemetery or English people graveyard. Probably a graveyard in America, but we call it a graveyard, they call it more cemetery. And so I'd be like, why? They'd be like, oh, just come over. Because in England, like, our cemeteries, I'm just going to call it cemeteries now, Jesus Christ, are quite, like, nice. They're, like, very upkept, because it's mainly run by the church.
Yeah.
So there was, like, benches and nice little areas to sit. But you go there, and it'd be, like, midnight, and everyone's drunk, smoking weed, like chucking beer cans everywhere. I'm just like, I'm leaving. I'm like this. So I have like crazy respect for graveyards and stuff because I'm just like, and they're dangerous to investigate because you're in a place where people are resting. Like there's like, you don't know who's buried there.
Did that Ouija board? Do you know that you mentioned on a few episodes ago?
Yeah,
anything can happen.
It's done. Doing a Ouija board in a graveyard, okay? Yep. No, let's not. It's not a fun place to do anything like that. So, I don't really.
Bit of madness.
But I don't know. I'd like to do. I don't know. I'd like to do like Lizzie Borden, something I've not done.
Yeah. I wonder what it's like living in a haunted place.
I wouldn't know. I've never lived in a haunted place.
Do you just think it's just like a normal day? You just get on with it and you don't really notice it anymore, or?
It depends. It depends on what's haunted, or if who's haunted, or who's haunting who.
So I was just thinking of that mansion.
Yeah.
Because it's a livable house, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's like. Supposedly they can hear. Well, where is it? People claim to hear phantom screams of the victims.
Yeah,
from the house at night.
I wanted the thing that burnt down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was slaves in the basement.
Kitchen fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was in the attic. Slaves in the attic.
Slaves in the attic. Yeah.
Yeah, in 1834.
But yeah, you wouldn't know because it's all refurbished now. If people didn't know, it's all refurbished. It's a good-looking house. It's a big fucking house.
I'm just looking at a picture of the outside of it. It looks really nice.
Yeah.
There's little balconies going around it and things.
But I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know what it's like. I've never lived in a haunted place. It's like, and then you've got, like, say, if it's the place that's haunted, if you're the reason, like if it's an item, if you're the one that's got an attachment and you're haunted, whether it just dissipates, whether it just carries on, whether it's us that are carrying it on for it, whether it's like this type of thing of, I like myths are born.
Yeah.
Like one person starts it and then it goes on and on and on and now like it's everywhere. Maybe it's got something to do with that. Like maybe it was just a little haunting, but the more energy people are putting into it by going and constantly doing this type of things like paranormal investigating or just breaking in and just doing stupid shit, maybe that's feeding it and it's becoming bigger. There's loads of theories.
I really do feel sorry for the people that own it. Apart from it does look nice, the fact that they probably get loads of people knocking at the door.
Oh yeah, they'll get really.
Like, just please leave me alone.
And I think over time, if it's just one little thing, if it's like a little, like I say, if it's just phantom screams, like you'll get used to it. You'll be like, you'll hear a scream and you're just like, "Oh, I'm going back to sleep. It's just like
Yeah.
people in the attic. It's just residual energy coming back from an event." But like knowing some families who've lived in really like haunted, like you can just see it on them. Like none of them look well. You know when you go in, like
Right.
for a long period of time, not something short, something long. Like you'll see a lot of oppression, depression, a lot
They
of
look
just
drained.
yeah, a lot of just like they've given up, they've lost the fight to just even battle it anymore. And it's like so I wouldn't, I'd like that. That's like more weird to see because you're like, what is going on? Because they can tell us, they can tell their story. I think this is what people misunderstand in like like haunted locations. It's like they can tell us we're never gonna experience it. Like because we're
Yeah.
not there, we're not living there. And even when we've been to these places, it doesn't like the same things that happen to them don't happen to other people. And then the minute everyone leaves, it goes back to chaos. So it's this thing of would I want to live? I don't think I'd want to live in a haunted place. I'd get too involved in investigating
Yeah.
my own house.
I've thought about it, but it's like I don't think it's for me.
No.
Just the idea of people walking up and knocking on the door for one.
What
What
if-
your place haunted?
What if no one knew about it? What if no one knew about the haunting? Then would you still live in a haunted house?
I don't know if it'd even bother me.
No.
If things start going flying past my head, then that's different.
It's a bit
I go,
noticeable.
yeah, I'm off. but it's like the odd. Let's just use this screaming noise for instance. Yeah, it made me jump out my skin for a little bit. I hear that the odd thing now, and it's like, okay, all right, I'm tired. Night.
Yeah.
So it's. I don't know whether it's horses I hear or whether it's
Just
an actual scream.
Scream, yeah.
Or just some random noise, but yeah. If it was that non-invasive kind of thing, then sure, I'll probably be all right with it. But like I
What-
say, if I'm having to dodge things, then
Yeah,
I'll pass.
dodging things like oh, toaster, microwave.
A vase of flowers, yeah,
But
whatever.
no, what if it was like take like the throwing stuff out? What if it was like getting scratched and like seeing apparitions, like creepy apparitions, like doors opening and closing, like your closet door. Imagine your closet door just opening and closing, opening and closing, opening, like constantly for like 10 seconds, just like this, ding 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 ding, like
I would get so annoyed.
like this.
You just see me with gaffer tape.
Just taping it
Fucking
up.
shut.
Yeah.
Or one of these Yale locks just to make sure it stays shut.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it personally, even though just because I know the extent it can get to, like, and I know me, and I'm just like, oh, I gotta investigate, and investigating can make it
Can't
worse.
you just make friends with the thing that's doing it and just go, come on, just let me have some sleep, Jesus.
Hopefully you would. Hopefully you just be like, let's just.
Why can't it be like Casper the Friendly Ghost? Just someone will just watch your back instead of scare you shitless.
That's it. But like, we get to the point again where it's like, most of the time people don't tell the stories, so people never know that they're actually that there's hauntings going off, and it's just like,
Yeah.
well, like that's just like, cause I believe like we spoke about it on other day. Like people have sexual natured contact. People just, I don't know. It's just weird. Like there's certain things that like. What it is with hauntings, and a few people will agree with me because I've spoken to a few people, even a few new people I've been speaking to, about ghost hunting and coming on. Even Madeline, but I'm not gonna throw her in here, because but there's certain situations like where you shouldn't be, like more a haunting or like and a certain event affects you more than somewhere else. What I mean by this is like. When you're like, and this is going to sound like, so let's just say you're in your living room watching telly, and you just see like a ghost or an apparition, or you hear a voice, then you're just like, because because you feel more comfortable in your living room. Like if you spend a lot of
Yeah.
time there, it's more of a comfort feeling. But like now, if you like, let's just say you're in your bathroom, where you do spend a bit more time, but you're more vulnerable in your bathroom because most of the time you're either naked, you're doing something that's like you're not thinking, and the light goes off, you freak out, you're like, what the fuck, because it's this fear.
Yeah.
Same thing as like if you're in your kitchen because you spend a lot of time cooking or whatever, you feel comfortable in the main rooms that you sleep in and stuff. You feel comfortable because that's why in your bedroom it feels a bit weird, because you're most vulnerable because you're sleeping. So it always freaks people out more when it's happening in bedrooms. But it's same principle.
The other day, I had my monitors turned off, but it wasn't even a power surge. Light went off, monitors went off, and that was it. Computer's still on.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'd be out. I'm going.
I did not touch anything. What the fuck is going on?
I'm leaving for 10 minutes. Like, but
I
stuff
was
like
just like that. Just what?
what's
Looked
just
outside.
happening?
It's dark, but it's like
No, it's definitely something that's like I say, it varies on what where you've actually spent, unless it's like someone throwing you against a wall or something.
yeah.
But there's certain things that a lot of
I
people
wouldn't stay in if it's any physical harm.
no
Well, that's just not safe or logical.
no exactly. Getting scratched by something you can't see sucks. It literally sucks. Like twice I've had it, never again. Don't want it again. Don't like.
Can't say I have, but I always end up seeing scratches on me, and I don't know how I've got them. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
But these
I could have been asleep.
these are like different. Like you're awake, like you're investigating, and you're just like, oh, something's
Ouch.
burning on my arm. You don't know. It's not an ouch thing. It's like it's like a burning sensation
Oh, right.
or a cold sensation, and you look and it's just like scratch marks, and you're just like.
Oh, wow.
You look and you're just like, and it's the fact that they last. It's such a I can't explain this. It's such a weird thing because they're not like, some of them are like scratches and they'll make you bleed a little bit, but some are like if you just do it to your arm now and it's just like fingerprint scratches,
Feel it.
and it's that redness that stays, but you can see the white outlines in the red where you've been scratched.
Yeah.
It'd be fine if it lasted like 10 minutes, but literally 2 days later, and I'd still had scratches on me, and then every time you look at it, you associate. Your brain can't process that. You don't know where you got them from. You're like, oh, something like
You don't know who's done it.
something scratched me that I can't physically see, and it comes back to it. That's always a freaky thing, knowing that you can't fight it. You can't like.
No one to hold accountable either, so it's a case of what the fuck.
Yeah, like.
It's like if you get punched in the face or whatever and you can see the person, it's like, well, fair enough, that happened. But the fact that there's nothing there and you get scratched, it's like, what?
That's it. That's why
the
people
fuck?
can't handle getting touched on investigations. It's just too much for them because they're just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to. Like, because they'll feel it constantly. But I don't know. Certain hauntings, like for me, I think I might be the same as you. I might be a bit more. So if I'm getting touched, I've been touched before. I'd probably stay in it. Voices, why not? Like apparitions, depending on what room of the house it's in, then yes. If it's like, if I'm trying to take a shower or a bath and I look up and there's a child sat next to my bath, then no, I'm out. Like, not happening.
See you later.
Whether it's nice or not nice, and I'm alright for seeing a child. Like, you know what I mean? There's that. Bedrooms a no go. I can't do apparitions in bedrooms. Even I've had it where I've done an investigation. I've gone back to the hotel and something's followed me back to the hotel. Only for a short period, only for like that night, and then no, you never hear it again. But they tend to follow you and then disappear. But that was like, no, like the bed moving a little bit, so you'd be sat on, like laying on the bed, big ass bed, double bed, and it'll move. The whole bed will just like a little bit, and you'll be like, seriously.
Definitely wasn't me.
And like taps would turn on, so like you'd be like in the bathroom of the hotel, taps would just turn on. You'd be lay there and you lay like, and you'd be like, You go up and a tap will be on. So there's definitely certain things.
Stuff that you're saying starting to freak me out about my own house.
Yeah, like weird little things just happen, which is a no go.
Shower. I've heard that going a thing. I'm like, mum's asleep. Nobody had a shower the day before, or that day, so there shouldn't be water there. And then it's like, what's going on? Like I say, it could just be whatever's left in the system and it's just gone through.
Yeah.
But
nah, like you'll know, like so, like when like a shower turns like on or off on you when you're in the shower or when you're about to like fully turn that freaks you out.
I can imagine.
Just anything in bath. Like I say, for me to live in a haunted house, I'm gonna have to like the ground rules.
No access to the bedroom.
Yep.
No access to the bathroom.
No like attic banging out or like bang around in the attic, because most people, if you don't live in England, most English houses, actually some American as well, they're just hatches. So you got to like move the hatch and then you got to poke your head up, and it's the worst thing you have to do because you've heard like banging and voices, and you have to poke your head up this 40 little hatch, and you're just like, God help me if I see something, if I just poke my head up and there's like just a face there, I'm just gonna be like,
nope,
I'm out. I'm literally out. I'm not doing it. I'm not like.
Oh. Luckily, we've got a boarded out loft, so.
Yeah,
So we've got ladders up there.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't like. Nah, I'm alright for that. I had two, like in my first house, which was a little haunted. It's where I started seeing most of my things. I had two. So I had two attics. I had one that had been like fully. It went from like the full length of the house, so it spanned the full length.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how long it was. It was long. It had like 2 beds in it. Like.
Oh wow.
Like, yeah, it was huge. It was like. And then I had like a smaller one. Like you go back down the loft stairs, but it didn't have like it had like a full on like wooden staircase that was built into the wall that went up to it. So it was actually thinking. But then you go back down and then above, like in front of the bathroom door, there was another hatch. That was like, and I think that always used to be creepy. But yeah,
them small ones are creepy.
Yeah, there's just too much, and like even this house now, like even though it's not my house, obviously it's my brother's. Like I've had some weird stuff happen to me here, but it's not been like freaky, because I've been like, because it's
like that scream that you and Tristan heard.
Yeah, no, I'm alright for that. Man, like shit like that don't freak me out. It don't freak me out, but I'm just like, what?
It just makes you jump at first.
I'm like, what the hell is screaming? But like even with the hand, like the whole phone thing with the hand and seeing, like none of that freaked me out. I was just like. But if it was my own house and that stuff was happening to me, like I heard a scream like literally outside my freaking window, then yeah, I'm gonna be like, unless I was in my living room and then I'd just be like, oh, no, it's alright. Because there's that comfortability thing, is that like you never want to be getting changed. Like you've never been touched in your life. Imagine this. So imagine having paranormal experiences in your house, right? It's fine. Like you've had them all your life, right? Don't worry about it. You've never been touched though. It's never touched you. But then the minute you start getting changed, like you're naked, it touched you. You're freaking out. Because you're just like.
Oh, I just fucking put a shiver down my spine.
Like, it's wrong. Like, and it happens all the time. It happens. People do it the most like. That's what paranormal investigating is. The most inopportune time ever. You won't see an apparition. 6 years, 5 years of you investigating.
Yeah.
You might see like a wisp of something or a shadow, and then all of a sudden you're in a building. You walk around a corner. It's not even you walk around a corner and there's something freaking like face to face with you, and you're just like fuck, your heart's going, and it's just that's why I always say people get be prepared for when you're investigating. For if something does crazy happen, it's never obvious. It's always like. You'll walk out of a room and you'll just be like, oh, like, that's it. And then the door will slam behind you and you'll be like, oh my God. Oh,
I hope that was the wind.
No, if it was in front of you, it'd be alright. You'd be like, because you'd be able to see it. Still freak you out, but you'd be able to see it. It's the fact that you've just come out of a room and the door's been like, boom, and not like slammed gently. Like, and you're just like, oh, it's weird. It's such a strange freaking occurrence. That's why I sleep with socks on.
Ready to get your shoes on to run.
No, I just sleep with socks on so nothing can touch my feet.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a daft thing to do, but I don't know. Like, America's good. America's good for paranormal stuff. Some of it's bullshit. Some of it's just like just business wise, but a lot of history, and especially a lot of creepy history.
But it's. I was going to say modern history. That's probably the wrong word, but it's history that's been around for a little bit. Like, it's closer to us now than it is way back when.
But
whereas England, it's got really old history.
Oh, England just goes back and it keeps on going back. I don't think it's got an end or a start. It just goes and goes and goes and goes.
Whereas America, like, it had been found, so it's more. Again, I can't really say current, but it's newer than English.
Yeah, it's definitely got new. But it's I don't know, it's newer, but yeah, it's more like, oh, mass murderers killed 30 people. Oh, mass murderers killed 20 people. Oh, mass murderers killed 40 people. Oh, like I say mass murderer, I'm going to use Sarah Spear as a serial killer. Serial killers killed 7 people, chopped them up, chucked them away. Like, there's so much, like, you start reading one, you get into it more, and you're just like, I think that's with a weird thing. I'm like, where the fuck are all these people in England? Like, cause there's got to be serial killers in England, because that's how it works. Like, it's not. But it's just not. It's not. You don't wake up on the news and be like, another body.
One near me.
What, serial killer?
Yeah, but it was years ago, years and years and years ago.
Fair dues.
But I don't really want to say the name because people can just Google it.
Yeah. Like, but yeah, like, they're just. I don't know. You don't really get them a lot. You don't really wake up on news and be like, another body's been found hung upside down with like a big smiley face tattooed on his forehead. Like, you know what I mean? There's certain things that like make a haunting, because it's not even a haunting. It's not even when you're looking at these things that make it haunting. It's like just standing in a place where a serial killer's been serial killing is creepy enough as it is. Now doing an investigation there, that's a whole new kettle of fish. So it's not. So yeah, America is like, well done on your haunted locations. Get a thumbs up. Really freaky. We're gonna probably do some more when I'm over there.
Yeah, I think it definitely kind of freaked me out more. Like you say, there is a lot more with the, as they put it on the thing, insane asylums and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fucking, I'm yawning. I don't know, it's good. I've not had a chance to go back and do it. Like, so when I go back, whether I do it on this 3-week trip I'm planning, or whether I do it when I go back for like Christmas, or when I go back for, because I know I can study in America now as well. So.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, so I can study because I'm doing Open University. I can study.
Oh, right,
I can be in America while studying Open University in England. Finish that and then.
Yeah.
Go straight into like go into forensics and then. So I don't.
It's gonna be you busy, isn't it? You're gonna be very busy.
Yeah, that's why I'm like. At some point, I'm not going to be able to game as much. Like, well, I'll make time for gaming. Don't get me wrong. I'll make time for gaming. But it's just like recent. We'll jump into gaming now because like we're going to end soon anyway. Yeah. But yeah, so whether I go for 3 weeks, like obviously I'm going for 3 weeks. Whether I do a bit then, with obviously Madeline and stuff, or whether we just decide that we want to spend a lot of time together. And go on adventures, which we're planning on doing, but just have like relaxing time, which is well deserved for both of us because it's been months, and COVID's just making us not being able to fly or anything to see each other. So There is
Well,
that.
You would have been gone weeks ago, or months ago.
Yeah, like something like that. But then, so whether I do it then, whether I do it when I go back, or whether I do it when we go back permanent, or like just introduce
Oh,
it back into it.
there's no real rush because these places don't seem to be going away, do they?
No, but I want to get back into it. So I don't know. But yeah, my life's like gone from vanilla, which I enjoyed because I've gone from chaos to vanilla, and now obviously not it's not chaos or anything, but now I'm doing like a big life change, which
Yeah.
is which I'm ready for. I'm ready. I'm happy.
To be fair, that's what I've done. Like, do you know, because it was like vanilla, and then I started doing podcasts, dating, in gaming,
Gaming.
graphic design stuff, and just, it went from 0 to 100 in the space of a week, if that.
So
So I'm being pulled either which way from different people.
but as long as like I said, as long as everyone's all right with this, it's kind of what
Yeah.
people need. Like I never thought I'd go into forensics. It's just something I always wanted to do, go into forensics. But then, like, I don't know.
What's that TV Criminal Minds. That is so interesting. But I
Profiling.
don't know. I don't know how true some of that stuff is. Which is why
It's little, but some of it's dramatised and everything.
Well, that's what I thought, but my brain always thinks, what if it is true? Well, obviously, that
Some of
job
it
does
is.
exist.
Yeah,
but,
some of it is like some methods that they use are correct, but
Yeah,
I say it's
I
dramatised.
still find it interesting, even though it is dramatized. You know, because I've not really looked into it so much. I just take it at face value.
Yeah, obviously.
It just interesting. Them figuring out, trying to think the way that they're serial killer. Or
Serial killer things. That's
whatever
what you have to
else.
do. You want to catch a serial killer, you got to think like a serial killer. You can't think like a normal person.
I think it was a Danger Kid or something like that on DVD that I heard, and it's like, to catch a thief, you've got to think like a thief,
Exactly.
and that's always stuck with me.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think I'm your belly button. Your belly button, Lynn. I do appreciate the follow. What a name! What a name! But yeah, like, I know I'm excited. People like I don't know. People happy for me. That's what I want. There, that can't speak English. That's what I want to do. I'm okay with it. I'm really like. I'm looking forward to just doing a new chapter, even though I've done loads of chapters before. This one's
Yeah.
like, oh, hopefully this one's permanently. Like it's looking permanently.
all positive one as well.
Oh yeah, it's super positive, and it's
Yeah.
definitely, like I say, it's definitely something what we both want. We both want it to be permanent. By the looks of things, it's going that way. And yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to I'm like I always say to people is like if you're happy, like if you're happy with the situation, like you got to take them leaps. You cannot have one foot in, one foot out. You've either got to be all in or all out, especially with something that's going to be like that's going to change your life dramatically. It's very,
Yeah.
it's very like you got to be sure and just be like that's what you want to do and have everything
Just
set
go for it.
to do it. Yeah, it's like but these things that happen like this, like these moments, there's like this is what I enjoy. This is what life's about. Is like, oh, I've wanted to do forensics all my life,
Yeah.
but then it's like didn't bother doing it. But then I meet a girl who I love, and then because it's like, oh well, I can just move up there permanently. I'm like, oh, what jobs can I do? And the first job, I just put like, I didn't even put like forensic. I just put psychology jobs, and then it came up with forensic psychology, and I looked into it and stuff, and I was just like, you know what, I've always wanted
That
to do
looks
it.
fun.
Let's do it. And literally from that moment, from that one moment, I was like, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, you just looked for courses on it. Are the courses the stuff you get from like Open University transferable to different countries?
So your degree,
Yeah.
Well, I'll have a degree in. Yeah, but some of them might need not might need to take me like an extra, like might need an extra like course or something.
Right. Okay.
Depends what it do. It depends what they do because they do 4 year degrees. We do 3,
Oh, right. Yeah.
but we also do like 6 years, 5 years. It just depends what it is. So that's my alarm, and it's just gonna ring out even though I'm doing a freaking podcast. Do apologise. But yeah, so it might not transition to. I'll probably just have to do an extra like test or something, which is not bad.
Oh,
But
no.
anyway, if I go to a different country and they're just like, oh, wait, I'm like, I've got a degree in forensic psychology, they're not just going to be like, well, nah, you're not qualified enough. It's not like. So.
Yeah.
Like I'm still figuring everything out. I'm like step by step. I'm getting like process. The biggest thing now, like even though I start in October, like I start studying in October,
Yeah.
so October, so that's when I start. But the biggest thing now is just getting to America to just visit. Like that's so
The
like
simplest thing.
yeah,
Just
the
visit.
simplest fucking thing on planet Earth has been like the hardest thing due to like no flights and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just thought,
It's like my sister's wanting to go to America. Her friends are wanting to go over, next month. But it's like,
what, to
just
America?
hold out a bit.
Whereabouts America are they going?
I think it's New York.
New York.
She's wanting to go. Yeah.
Not bad.
I
Not bad.
think.
It's not nothing special. So
No.
don't tell your sister I said that though, because she just might change her mind. But yeah, nothing crazy special. But no, I just sorted. So because flights, the hardest thing, the easiest thing became the hardest thing. So like one of the hardest things, I was just like, I'm just gonna sort visas out. I'm gonna look into what visas I need to spend like a few weeks. But then obviously, if I want to, I can spend like 3 months. Whether I want to do like when I want to get a student visa, so I can just study there. Whether I want a work visa, but I would need obviously qualifications first and for that. Like, so I've been trying to sort all this stuff out, and then obviously I started studying that and getting back into university. So I've been like, it's all been good. I've just been taking steps by steps on what to do.
That's the only thing you can do, isn't it? Just
on
take
how to
steps
do.
here and there to get to where you want to get to.
Yeah, and just like even getting a part-time job, like even something that I can just do from home while I study. Like, cause I didn't want to. Reason I stopped the other one was because they wanted me back full time. There's no way I can do full time and study. It's just not. It's not feasible.
Yeah.
I'll have no time for anybody, and I hate not having time for anybody. I hate it. It drives me crazy. Like.
Yeah.
So.
I'm so close to writing myself a schedule of what to do, when to do it, so that I can at least it's a bit more structured, so I know what time I've actually got.
Mate, I'm gonna do the same thing because I'm not on a schedule at the minute. But no, I'm just free at the minute. I can just be like, oh, I'll do this, stay in bed, which is annoying me. But I'm on like that transition period on where I'm starting to transition into that. And the minute I can get like a flight organised and stuff, then yeah, I'm gonna buy a huge fucking whiteboard, stick it in my bedroom. I'm gonna stick it on that wall. I'm just be like. There'll be like loads of little things.
Schedule. I'm just looking to see if I've got a place to put a whiteboard. I might have to have a smaller one on that wall there.
Yeah.
Just so I can see what I'm meant to be doing.
But yeah, like that'll be it, and then I'll schedule it, and then.
Obviously, plans change, or you get the odd urge to just go on a trip out or something, or whatever.
Yeah.
But at least it keeps it some more ordered.
I'm just I think the schedule's always good. Like, they're always good to have just to figure out what's cracking off. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's happy. I'm happy. I'm really happy that I've met someone. That it's going the way it's going. That it was natural. That the way we feel about each other, the way we are. The conversations we've had. Obviously, I'm not going to speak about them on podcasts. And just things. Just like. It's something I didn't think I'd ever get to have again. Now, I don't think I've ever had the thing I've had that I've got now. I think it's something super special.
Yeah.
And it doesn't do anything. So I don't know. Let's just end it there. We're gonna end it
Yeah.
there. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. I've got to sort some university stuff out anyway. So
Yeah, no worries.
that's episode 10. I just thought we'd do like an easy one. We'll get back into the hard, crazy stuff of like possession and like paranormal objects and stuff when we've not had a week's break and just come back into it. Because my computer was messing up. I had no idea what was going off, but it's working fine now by those things. So
You just get rid of some stuff on your PC or something.
that's it. It's only
Yeah.
just begun. Yeah, but it's only an hour and 20 minutes podcast, mate. Today we're getting back into it, easing into it. It's only how much time I had. Look, mate, the next ones will be back to like 2 hours, so get ready because we can just chat. But yeah, that's episode 10. Quick and easy, just haunted locations in America. Here's a topic. Yeah, I'll look at it after me. Yeah, we'll do that. But yeah, other than that, we do appreciate everyone stopping by, for the follow as well, for the support. The next episode will be a few days, 2 days, something like that. We'll figure it out. I'll put a schedule back up on Twitter. I'll post everything on Instagram, like when things are going up and stuff. But yeah, we just appreciate everyone stopping by. Keep an eye out for Tom's gaming podcast when he ever decides to do it.
Yeah,
when that's happening.
Neither do I at the minute. 'Cause, well, how busy I've been already. It's I don't know.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you. But we'll keep on doing this one.
Yeah, mate, we'll just keep on doing this. Yeah, it's nice and easy. Especially now but now I can get back into ghost hunting. I can just, even if I don't post ghost hunting clips, which I'll do, I can just talk about the hunting after I've come back on our podcast. But on that note, I hope you all have a good morning, evening, afternoon, night. And if you're streaming, I hope you have a good stream as always. For the people who's watching on Twitch, this will be going up on YouTube straight after, so if you want to watch on YouTube and stuff, it'll be up there. If you want to find our Instagrams or stuff, they're on the page. They'll be in the description. And we will all catch you on episode 11. Much love and peace.
Catch you later.